time to really buckle down and get started. I have a ton of work to do, so I am trying to get all of this finished. A ton of work indeed. So this video is going to be a mashup of basically the repairs that I am doing on the RV, structural things like that. Right now, my neighbor was helping me to remove anything that needed to be removed on the exterior that was no longer functioning or no longer needed to be there, like this old staircase that didn't work anymore, and the propane tank underneath of the RV was old and not going to be used anymore. So that was an angle grinder that Matt was using to remove the step, and then we were working together to release the bolts for the old rusty propane tank that was no longer needed. So huge thanks once again to my neighbor Matt, who helped me. I would not have been able to do these things without him and his knowledge and tools. I definitely went into this thinking I would be able to do most of it myself, but I underestimated certain things that I would need help on. So I am forever grateful to the people who have helped me along the way on this project. Thank you. We discussed possibly putting a box for storage underneath where this propane tank was, because when you're in a small space, every little bit counts. So that might be in the future for this area. Okay, so this side, that one came apart in two pieces. Let's have a look at this side. Oh man, this is where the wheel well cover on the inside, I think this is where like the mice were getting in. So I'm gonna have to find a way to seal that. You can see inside of there. And the wood here is definitely rotting. Same with the cover on that side. And that's why that carpet was so hard to get out. Alrighty. That's gonna be fun. Ow. I have been sick for the past few days, so that's kind of put me behind. And it's like the last nice week in Michigan, I think. It's gonna be 60, high 50s. So I'm trying to get done as much as possible. Still kind of sore, hurting, whatever, achy. Anyways, don't really have time to not feel good. So I am going to get started taking this panel off and hopefully assessing the wood rot underneath. Let's go. So I decided to take out the old water heater, all of the HVAC, plumbing, electrical, everything that was existing in here. And I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet. I'm going to be kind of roughing it and completely off grid first, and then I'm going to decide what my needs are when I get on the road. After getting the old water heater out and seeing all of the damage underneath there, I took the piece of siding off to be able to get to the rotted wood and the metal that was pretty much completely rusted out in that area. So eventually I would like to re-side some of the areas. As of now though, I'm just going to put the existing siding back on after I repair what needs to be in the area. And here's a super cringy clip of me trying to pose for a thumbnail because that's what the kids do these days. Hopefully this helps some of you who are doing a similar renovation to see the layers. And even if you're not doing a renovation, I think it's pretty cool to see what goes into a build like this and the way that these were put together in the first place. So that underneath there is the old wallpaper. I'm not sure why they have it tucked under on the outside, but then it's got some kind of like underlayment under there, which was obviously completely rotted. Also, I am removing the metal stripping that was piecing it all together and getting that out of the way to be bent back down later when I start putting the layers on. So this is the easy part of this repair, taking it all apart, and I soon find out all of the work that's going to go into rebuilding this area back up. There's one. And two. Not saving that piece. So much more than I thought going into this. I mean, like, you don't realize when you're opening this up all the little pieces, like this is underneath there and the next layer. I should know that from residential remodeling, but this is just a whole other ballgame, different materials. So this piece probably should replace that one too. Yeah. There's that piece.
If you're going to use it, you can put a 2x4 here and then notch it to go around this. You can do that. You lay a 2x4 in through here.
I don't think they had any of these when I was there.
I got some in the garage if you need. I got them
Yeah.
scrap. If you wanted to use a 2x4 and then you cut it back to here, right? And then you notch it to go around this, and then it'll go here, and then you can screw the two together.
Maybe I'll do that.
And then just put another 2x2 here. I have some in the garage.
Okay.
You can get them.
Thank you.
That'll work. Yeah. You can go ahead and replace this one. Replace this one.
All right.
Are you putting your hot water tank back here? Maybe not that one, but are you going to put one back in here? You still have a hole here.
I know.
You know.
I was thinking I'd just patch it with the metal for now until I got the siding.
Well, I would utilize what you already have then.
What?
What do you're gonna frame this in? Where are you gonna have hot water?
I don't know if I will.
What hot water?
Yeah, but it might be later. So like.
Well, this is where you want it. So I would say if you use that, shove it back in here, and then you can pull it out and throw it away later. Get another one. It should be a standard size. You probably got a 3-gallon, a 6-gallon, maybe a.
They have a
10
bunch of
gallon.
them online now, and
Yeah.
they're way smaller. So I'd probably get a new one.
That's probably a 3-gallon,
Yeah.
maybe 3.5.
I need to like patch it for temporarily though.
You need to get this all rebuilt.
Yeah. Got some insight from Matt. And I'm going to cut out the metal, reinforce the wood, and try and do it as quickly as possible. I'm definitely feeling the pressure of getting this done in time, and I want to do everything right, and I don't know how to do everything, so I'm apprehensive about like starting things, but I need to just do them, and certain things like deal with it later if I didn't do it the right way, which is not my preferred way of doing things, but it is what it is.
This particular part of the project, or this particular repair, was one that I was dreading and not looking forward to at all, because I was super intimidated to pull this whole area apart and basically rebuild it.
These work way better.
I didn't want
I would have been
to
using my regular
do something wrong,
tin snips,
so I kind of had like a fear of
and
starting.
I didn't even know these
And
ones existed,
then
so thank you,
I
Matt,
decided I
for
just
saving
needed
the
to
day again.
start doing it and learn as I went and address things as they came. So I'm very proud of how far I have come in this project already, doing things that I've never done before and that I was nervous to try. But I feel like in life, if you don't know how to do something, then the best way to figure out how is to just try it. So I am not excited at this point in the repair. I was kind of struggling with the tin and figuring out what the next steps were, but if you stick around, you'll see that I figure it all out.
This is what I'm working on today. Super not intimidating at all.
Another good tool to have on hand is the Sawzall. If you are doing a build like this, it has come in handy more than once, especially with a metal blade, getting through like nails and staples. This part of the wood was completely rotted, so I felt it was something that had to be fixed since it was rotted down to the studs in the floor or joists, I guess they would be in the RV, floor joists. So not only were the floor joists rotted, but the subfloor was extremely rotted in this area, as well as the walls, the framing on the walls here, and the metal sheeting was also rotted, or I almost said decomposing. You know what I mean. So all of that is why it was intimidating, because it was many layers that had to be replaced. So I just got started, and I just started ripping apart the rotten parts and figured that I would figure it out along the way and hope to reinforce it even more so than it already was when they built it the first time.
How it fits. So loud. Holy cow. That's gotta go there, and this needs to be cut out here. I'm sure there's a smarter way to do this, but we don't have time for that. There. come and give you guys a better look at what I'm doing. That wasn't so bad. Reinforcing the metal. I was really nervous, and it's not perfect, but it is what it is. I did it, and that's pretty cool. Shorten you guys up so you can go under the cab. Oh good, and now it's snowing. Hold on, I think you got something on you. You're welcome. Alright. So, like I said, it's not perfect, but it is definitely better than it was. We'll have to wait until I put that back on the foot in. Woo! Oh my god, I keep dropping it. Come on. Ugh. Why is that so hard to screw in? Okay, I need to put the rest of the wood in, I think, for it to go into. I don't think I'm gonna be able to push this back up. Fucking come on. I don't want that like that because then critters will be able to get in. Well, hello there. Really, it would be nice if you would come out. Come out. Thank you. and you shall receive. Oh, I should put this piece on after the subfloor. Probably. So, tape measure would probably be a good idea. There is a screw sticking out. Every time you go to do like one simple thing in this, it's just like, nope, you have to do this. There's just a million steps. So So if you're still here after the entire fiasco that has been this repair so far, thanks for sticking around. I hope you found some humor in the situation like I did. You have to when you're doing things like this and you're frustrated. I think it brings light to the situation. I picked up these metal pieces. I couldn't even tell you what section they were in to like marry these boards together and be extra structural. We're learning together. We're winging it. So, and these are not the same height because this fucking screw is in the way. You need a smaller screw. better to me already, to be honest. It's not professional, but I feel like you're a little bit sideways there. Okay, why is that? Oh. I see. Just wanted to show real quick how I just got this foam insulation home, and I picked one of the windiest days. Oh, I was going like 15 miles per hour.
Just wanted to say real quick that another great tool to have on hand when you are doing a renovation like this is the T-square, which is generally used for drywall, but I have used it throughout the project for cutting the foam, cutting wood. It's definitely a good tool to have in your toolkit when you're working on a project like this.
Sometimes my brain just doesn't work right. So trying to cut this at 13. What is that? Why did I do that? Why did I follow that instead of this? Anybody? Alright. This is why it takes so long to do things. Like, how is that right? What on earth am I doing? Thank you. 20 hours later. This is gonna be a mess. Oh. I forgot Barley was outside. Be right back.
This pink foam insulation was really easy to work with. I end up using different kinds of insulation throughout the build, and this was one of the easier methods to work with. I started insulating the floor and then realizing maybe there wasn't insulation under there, so I kept on pushing it further, and then it raised the floor up. So learn from my mistakes and don't do that. After the insulation, I ended up putting down the plywood for the subfloor, And then this is what I came up with for the exterior. It is actually a piece of treated wood because I assumed that would be the best wood to use for outdoor use or exterior where it might be getting wet. So I ended up spraying it with the rubberized coating, the same stuff that I put underneath the RV to protect it. And also because of what I had mentioned earlier about using tin on or aluminum on treated wood, that would have a reaction and make it rot or rust faster. That's just what I was told. So I ended up spraying the rubberized coating, and then I adhered this area to make it stronger for the siding to go back onto. And this was the extent of that repair. It might not be perfect, but that's what I came up with, and it seems pretty solid so far. And that's going to be it for the repairs on today's video. So I hope you will join me for the next video where I repair the rotted wood and rebuild the structure of the overcab area. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new or at least laughed along with me. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. Have a beautiful day.